Well, good morning and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is William Austin. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Trust that you are well on this wonderful Wednesday. Let's go ahead and get started. I don't know, years ago, I had mentioned the concept of school choice being the wedge issue for African Americans, especially African American conservatives. We talked about, and on the programs that we did on Blog Talk Radio that are all gone, by the way. That is a shame that basically thousands of hours of podcasting is up in smoke, all gone. But we talked about this forever. We talked about how important an issue school choice is, and how I explain it to people is that the mom that lives in public housing has something in common with the mom who lives in a gated community. And what they have in common is this: they want the best educational experience for their child. They both want the same thing for their kid. And if you sit them down and you say, do you want the best educational experience for your child? The mom who lives in the gated community says yes. The mom who lives in public housing says yes. They want the best choice they can. Now, the reality is that the mom who lives in the gated community probably has the means by which to either move to a community where the public school system or the public school nurse system doesn't just suck out loud, okay, or is what they want, even if it sucks out loud, is what they want. So they've made that choice, or to send their kid to a parochial or private school, which is what they chose, and they pay the premium for doing that. And I don't have a problem with that at all. Not at all. Great idea. Good thing. The problem comes when the other mom is just stuck sending her children to the school that sucks. It isn't what they want. But the system says, no, you live at this address, so you must send your child to the school that absolutely blows chunks. Maybe you can be more involved. Maybe you can be there for the pancake breakfast. Maybe you could be there for the teacher appreciation day. Maybe the curriculum sucks. The teachers are, and listen, you guys know that one of the groups that I am the hardest on are teachers. Why? Because it's freaking important. And in a lot of these schools, a lot of these failing schools, you have two types of people. Now, this is a huge generalization, so just deal. You either have people on their way out of the system who have retired years ago, or you have people on their way in the system who are brand new, idealistic, and can't find their butt with both hands, a flashlight, and a team of search dogs. That's what you have. Neither of those things are good for kids. Neither of those things are good for building community. Neither of those things is good for education. And the mom who lives in public housing is stuck with her children at that school. It's a problem. So building a system of choice for everyone seems to be exactly what the left is talking about. It seems to be equity. It's starting everybody on an equal footing. So on Monday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a sweeping school choice package into law here in the Sunshine State. The legislature in Tallahassee passed the legislation in recent days, and then the governor implemented the new policy at a celebratory ceremony with the stroke of a pen. The law expands eligibility for school choice scholarships. The scholarships previously had some income caps, but priority will still be given to students who are low income. Mom who lives in public housing. Students who whose households incomes are less than 185% of the federal poverty level, or roughly $51,000 per family of four, will be taken care of first. The funds can be used by parents for an array of educational expenses, including in addition to tuition. So in case you missed it, no, I'm sorry, we won't do that. Teachers unions, of course, are just freaking out because what they're afraid of is that they will be found out. They will be found out. Some of these public schools will become empty. Now that's what's happening here where I live. Some of these schools are empty because people are either the government has decimated the community by gentrification, or people are just leaving the school. They don't want their kid at XYZ elementary school anymore, or XYZ middle school. They don't want their kid there anymore. So they came up with something else, or XYZ high school. This is already happening. And when these people are interviewed, when these parents are interviewed, they say, well, why don't you want your kid at XYZ elementary school? And they say, because the teachers there blow chunks. The principal there is a friggin' moron. We don't want them being exposed to that curriculum. They don't. I watched a YouTube video yesterday from a dude who does pretty funny. He's the principal of the school. He does pretty funny interactions with teachers and parents. And then he stepped. I think he just exposed himself. He's part of the system. And he talked about what I talked about years ago. He talked about it's not the newfangled kid that's the problem. Partially, it's a newfangled parent. It is. And some of us who are saying, you knew what you were getting into. Well, you kind of did, or you should have. What he didn't mention was he mentioned that parents have changed. Definitely. There are more parents who are more involved than ever, but not involved in the way they want you to be involved. They don't want you to be involved in what they're actually teaching your kid, what your little product is bringing home. They don't want you to be involved in that. They want you to shut up as they feed your kid whatever the hell they want to feed them. They just want you to be there for the pancake breakfast. They just want you to be there to arrange the parties. They just want you to be there for teacher appreciation. But everything else they'll do. These people are saying the quiet part out loud. And in this video today, we're going to play a couple of clips of this woman who basically says that parents aren't smart enough to be in charge of your own child's education. This Representative Lydia Glaze claiming that parents are too stupid to make decisions about their children's education. As public schools force this propaganda on students. And she's sending her kids to private school.
I see access as a problem. I see parents being able to direct their child's education, and they are already in the lower 25 percentile, meaning a lot of those parents did not finish high school and could not finish their own education. I am extremely concerned that we would put money in their hands in that entire piece of life in the hands of parents who are not qualified to make those decisions, and they don't have the money to put in the difference that their child would need to attend a private school if there were one in their region.
She can clearly see that her kids aren't getting what my mom with her kids are getting who live in the gated community. She can clearly see that. She can clearly see that her kids, because of where they are, actually need the best teachers. This is why I'm hard on teachers. They need the actual best teachers. They need the most motivated. They need the most directed. They need the best curriculum. They don't need a curriculum full of woke agenda. They need math, social studies, science, language arts, to the highest level possible. They need the most engaged teachers. They don't need agenda they don't need curriculum built by MSNBC. And instinctively, intuitively, the mom who lives in public housing knows this. Now, what's her face? Lydia Glaze believes that this mom doesn't know that. All this goes back to when you're dealing with Black people, this whole talented 10th thing. Look that up, the talented 10th. And that Lydia believes that this mom who lives in public housing should just listen to her because they know best. Sometimes they do, but not always. I am thrilled that here in Florida, the governor has expanded school choice. School choice, if used correctly, if it's used by politicians correctly, is the way into moving the needle. Listen carefully, moving the needle in urban America away from the woke, I hate that term, the evil agenda of the left in the urban community, providing opportunity, real opportunity for those kids. My name is Willie Lawson. This has been the Morning Report. The Morning Report is a collection of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.